Hello everyone, ShriRam here. Here we have another PMP success story from Naved.
Hi, Shri.
Hello. First of all, congratulations for your massive success in PMP. And
Thank you very much, and congratulations to you too. My success is your success.
it's fast forward. See,
Yes,
whenever I see a message, a call, hey, I cleared, it gives, oh my God, that's a great milestone.
indeed, it's indeed a great milestone. I mean, the people doing PMP, they know like what pain they go through, and I was like, okay, I got to know that now.
Seriously, seriously. Some of them are hearing that it's okay, man. Another certificate, what a big deal. Um, until they go and do it, really, it's a big deal. So,
It's indeed a big deal. I mean,
okay,
when
quickly,
you're not used to studying and reading, I mean, it's really a big thing.
seriously. So there it goes, a certificate. 3rd of December, he cleared this examination, and he has a profile of a turnaround planning and scheduling professional. Okay, first of all, looking at the certificate looks so beautiful. Now let's listen
Indeed.
to him. What's your job role? What do you do there?
Um, Basically, I'm an engineer by profession, and I work for a refinery here as a planning and scheduling lead.
Hmm.
Um, and This is the downstream background. I mean, the refinery they do the production for oil and gas. So I work as an expert here,
Hmm.
and apart from that, like
So you feel that this
that's not.
management learning is going to give you more understanding on your day-to-day job.
Actually, I would say, Shri, like, I was already into it. I was doing this all practically. I mean,
Mm.
into my daily work routine, like, it is a part and parcel of my daily work habit. I'm into turnaround business. So turnaround is like, it's when you start a turnaround, it's like a 1 to 2 year preparation. So
Mm.
you start with the same thing. You start with initiating, you go with planning, you go with execution, and then closing. So it's like, uh, I was like, man, I already do this. I'm into it, so it should be easier for me to absorb it, and to get the feel of it. And going through the 49 processes and all those things, I was like, man, I do this, it should be easier for me. So, and this was my long back. I mean, I aimed for it long back, but
Mm.
due to my project assignment, like in every country, I used to go like for turnarounds. And when you are doing a project, like you're totally involved into it, and then there's hardly some time you can spare, because turnaround professionals, they basically work, longer hours. So like 10 hours is the minimum, because they go
Oh,
beyond 10.
oh, yeah.
And I mean, every new project is like a big thing. So getting time, and it depends which location you are, like, how are your facilities around that, make the environment feasible for you to study.
Mm.
And the good thing here is, like, I got the opportunity, and the environment was cool. Like, the workload was good enough. Like, I thought, like, okay, mentally I'm at peace here,
Yeah,
no hustle bustle. Yeah, then I
Caribbean
just went for it.
islands.
Oh
Okay.
yes, Caribbean influence. And it's not like the same crowd that we see in India or in the Middle East. So it's like,
Okay,
it's
free.
like amazing. You are with a free mind. Like, if you have to do something, I would recommend come here, get isolated from the worldly noise. Oh man, it's amazing. It
Okay,
was an amazing experience.
so for PMP, we have to go to Caribbean islands.
I would recommend one.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, how many months you hit it hard to get to this exam?
Actually, seriously studying, like, I started while doing a course, September. September batch. Yeah, I was into September batch, and then I started with the flow, like, take going through your sessions, and after that, doing some reading, and then I approached Rahul for the timetable, like, what schedule I should follow, like, and then I went through some of your YouTube videos, like how the previous students, they followed the structure of studying, and referring notes and everything. And then when actually from October, when I finished with your session, I actually started studying full time, very seriously, because uh, my baseline was, to finish it by by October 30.
Okay.
I planned it like, I thought like, I mean, it seems like I have seen all this subject, and it seems like, okay, I have studied this, I'm doing it. But when I actually started studying, my baseline changed. I mean, there I realized like what is actually a baseline. I keep changing my baseline. From 30th October, I said like, okay, no, I'm not able to do it. I'll not book it. I'll not book the date. So then I moved on to the 15th of November. I said like, at least by 15th November, I should make it.
Uh,
But then, the confidence level was still not the same, like, at its peak, because I started my mock test from uh, November second week. Yeah, second week, yes. And then I realized, like, oh my goodness, there are many things that, I'm still lagging behind, because when you do actually mock test prepcast thing, and I would recommend prepcast, I mean, it's like super, super. I mean, it's the best. You realize doing that mock test like where you are lagging behind. Then I realized, going back, like I should have started with the prepcast a long back, and then I could have uh, done it more earlier. But then anyhow, I finally started with my mock test during November month, and the good part was the review thing. You know, I started reviewing very seriously, and yeah. And then by the end of November, I felt like I cannot take the pressure anymore. I cannot go beyond this, so I booked it on third of December, because my family and everyone was like, "When are you giving the exam? When are you giving the exam?" And I was like, "From 30 October." It's like, oh, my date is only extending. So my family was like, "Okay, maybe this year end you are going to book it 31st December." I said, "No, no, it's not going that far. I can't take the load."
Okay, okay, good, good. Now your family should be pretty happy.
Yeah, all are happy. Like, I'm mentally relieved, because I wasn't talking to them that good. I used to escape talking to them, because whenever I talk to them home, my sisters, my mom, like, "Hey, when is your exam?" It's up to me. I would say it's up to me. When I feel like I'm prepared, I will book the day. So then they used to like, okay, on every week call, weekend I used to call and like, okay, how about this month? Next week? I would say, yeah, no, 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 I'm not ready. I'm not confident. The day I feel confident, the next week I'm booking the day. Oh my goodness, like it was a torture calling home, and talking to everyone, even friends on this September batch friends whom I said like, I'm planning to give the exam on the 30th October, and they were like, "Hey, Navid, you were supposed to give 30th October. How about your date? When are you approaching?" I said like, "I'm not done. I'm sorry. My baseline has moved drastically." I mean,
Got you,
oh,
got you, got you.
it
Okay,
was amazing.
that's interesting. So, how was the exam when you went? It's online or it's something center based?
Uh, I took center based exam, and for me it was very smooth. I mean, all the process was very smooth. The center was just 10 minutes drive from my home, so it was very nearby. And
There is a good center in
I
Philippine Island. Huh?
yes, the center was very good. I mean, it was a new building, and before giving the exam some days back, I went to the center and they showed me like, this will be your center, this will be the office where you will be taking your exam, and this is your computer and everything. We will be giving you a pad and a pen, so you will get everything. You can be relaxed. There are only two computers, so only two. If there is someone with you, there will be only two people sitting for exam each day.
Small.
And yeah, I mean, here no one basically takes PMP or like this
Yeah,
high
in
end exam.
Caribbean Island, you will be the only guy in the last 5 years.
No, 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 no. There are people taking exams, PMP exams, like the IT company guys. They are taking mostly
Oh,
the
I
IT
didn't know
companies.
that there.
And
Okay.
yeah, yes, and from my company, the refineries, very few guys are there. Like, I mean, 1 in 10, you can say,
Okay.
taking PMP exam.
Oh, very.
So I used to see the center. Every time I used to go online to PMI website and check for the availability. There were two centers and they are almost free. So I was happy that I don't have to book a date in advance. Though I could do that, but because I wasn't confident, uh, I didn't go for it. So I was like, okay, I was at peace. Like, I can book the date on any date that I'm comfortable. Like today, if I'm ready, I can book it for tomorrow. So it was, I was at peace for the
That
exam
is
thing.
good. That is good for you. Okay.
Correct.
So how was the questions? Did you felt?
Oh, the questions were pretty smooth. Like I was feeling like, I'm taking a prep class. I was sitting like I'm sitting at home,
Mhm.
relaxed, very peaceful, no disturbance, just me and my computer and no disturbance. And initially the questions went very smooth.
Mhm.
Then after 50 questions, I got some hiccups. Like I was like, the questions were really lengthy. The options were also lengthy to read.
Mhm.
And I think around 25 questions in between, I got very tough.
Mhm.
Like it was very hard. Like, the options were so close. I mean, I couldn't go through like that question in the prep class also. Like it was so close. I mean, so narrow. Like you cannot distinguish. It was so close. Otherwise, all others were like, you just see the question and you're like, oh no, this is the answer. I mean, you don't have to read all. Just okay, this. So I wasn't reading all the answer because I know like this is the answer. So I would go for it. But the only thing went wrong with me was, the time management. I missed on that part. I prepared for it very well. I noted like in my pad, like, you got 240 minutes for
Mhm.
200 questions. So like in 180 minutes, you should be on 150 question.
Mhm.
In 120 minutes, you should be at least 100 questions.
Mhm.
So I tried to follow that timeline, but due to those questions, those difficult questions, my initially 89 questions, they took me around 100. I mean, like I exceeded 10 minutes more on that,
Mhm.
and apart from that, I also started reviewing those 89 questions a bit more thoroughly because I marked a lot of questions, just to review them later on. But
Okay.
what happened is like, I realized like I marked too many questions. I
Oh,
mean, there were more than 10, more than 10, yeah, 15 around.
10 is
So
fine.
like it was, sorry,
10 should be fine, right, to review.
I know it was more than 10. I know because I was seeing a lot of tick, 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 and I was like, oh no, where should I start from?
Okay.
And and then it took 10 minutes more there, so it was almost 120 minutes and more for the 89 questions. And this is where I missed the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, it went pretty smooth. But then when I was nearly 70 questions left, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
close to 70 questions, 70 to 73 minutes. So it's like I was left with 1 minute for each question. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started like reading really fast and
Mm-hmm.
doing it really quick. But it helped me, I mean, going with the 1 minute mark, I just kept in my mind, like, I cannot take more than 1 minute. If it is taking more than 1 minute, I would mark it and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not keep it, then I realized I shouldn't keep much of the questions for review later. I should be confident and, choose the right one and then not keep it for later review so that I come back and think over it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I should. So I made my mind such that I will do it in one shot, and
Mm-hmm.
and then I finished it exactly on the time. I mean, I couldn't get time for review. It was so close.
Oh,
And yeah, it was just like, I finished the question and within 5, 6 seconds, the screen went off.
man, neck of the moment you did.
I realized this was my mistake. Initially I
Very
faced this
slow in the
hiccup,
next
and then
one. Uh,
Yeah, very close. But I was confident, because most of the questions they were going very smooth. I was feeling like, I'm giving a prep call. The
that's
good thing was doing the prep call 6 and 7,
mm,
5, 6, and 7.
mm,
My focus was reviewing them a lot, and I faced similar questions. Like the context was the same. The question were not the same, but I mean the concept was the same thing.
got you.
And I was following the question pattern. If I'm getting questions on scope, I got in series 4 5 questions on scope. Risk, I got 4 5 questions, like going in this series. Closing, I got closing together. Initiating also, I got the initiating closing all related. So I was like, okay, this is how it's going.
That's good, man. They didn't mix it for you. Mm.
No, I was feeling that flow, like this is the risk question, next one is the risk question, so
Ah,
it was easier for me.
look like the shuffling logic doesn't work for you.
No, it would have worked, but I mean, I
Mm.
don't know why it went
Good,
that way.
impressive. That's impressive. Great. That's really good to know, Navid. So, you mentioned that you are working in that model project, and when you prepare, yeah, you found okay, a lot of areas to read, some gaps were there. When you went to exam,
Yes.
it has its own challenge.
Oh, yes.
That's good. That's good. Great. Good to know. So, if you want to give some tips to people on the examination, what tips will you give?
Well, I would say, if possible, go for the prepcast thing. I mean, it is a must to do. And most importantly, the prepcast with 5, 6, and 7, the last three. And, only giving the exam is not the main thing, like,
I like
giving the mock test. After that, you need to review. I mean, review is the thing where you study more. And how I used to do the questions in the mock test was like, whenever I come across a question that was, something new, I
it.
mean, the options, even the answers, if it is in the mock test, if it was something new that I haven't heard of, I would mark the question number. I would take a book and keep it with me. All the questions, like, apart from the marking on the computer, I used to write down on my book, like, this question and question number, this.
Mm.
And if it is very new challenging one, then I would just mark it as star. So in my notebook, I used to get around 20 to 25 questions which are something new that I'm hearing, or I'm reading something new. So it was like, okay, I should read on this when I'm doing the review. So that helped me, because there I learned more. And then I realized, I should focus on doing preparation with prepcast, and not no more reading, because reading, I mean, you reach a saturation point, and then
Yeah,
the
no.
diminishing law applies. Nothing helps. I mean, you do reading the same thing, but your brain is not accepting it.
Yes. Through question, you learn faster.
Y- Yeah, so that was my strategy. Then I noted in my book, and then when I was doing review, I used to do the review. I used to filter the questions on review. Like I used to see, like, initiating. I used to filter on initiating. I used to filter on closing. These two were my low points. During the first initial 3 4 months, these questions were. I mean, I was lagging behind in initiating and closing, like below target. So what I focused is, when I was doing review, I started doing all initiating together, then closing together. And
Mm.
then I used to filter on risk. I used to filter on quality. And then, because then you understand the flow, like, you see the repeated thing. In the options, you see repeated options. So then you realize, okay, no, in this condition you are not supposed to do this, you are supposed to do this. So when you follow that pattern, like, you follow quality, and then every time you see repeatedly scattered diagram, it is for this.
Mm.
You see control limit. I mean, when your mind sees it repeatedly, you're like, okay, no, 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 this is the right answer. I mean, I took it wrong. So I took that strategy. I filtered every time on each knowledge area, and
Mm.
then I went reviewing that way. So it really helped me, because I got the flow of the question, like
Yeah.
what is asking, and what it is asking, and how it is. I mean, where I'm lagging behind, because there, because mock is basically it's mixed of everything. So
Yeah.
when you start reviewing 1 to 200, you don't feel that, I mean, maybe your interest will lag behind.
Mhm.
uh, at times while reviewing you're not interested, or it depends on the situation around the mood, if you're interested in studying. So it all depends, and it takes a lot of time to review. I mean, more than the mock test, I spent time on reviewing, maybe at times 2 days, 2.5 days, just to review the complete
See,
mock
review
and
something like reading the content all together in a
all
quick.
together. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. What it is right. Expected behavior.
Indeed. And you get many new things to learn. Like I actually learned from reviewing the mock tests, I
Oh,
would say.
perfect, perfect.
It really helped me. Like, in the exam, I was like, it was going so smooth. Like, I was seeing the question and I was like, no, this is the answer. My eyes were just going on that answer. Like, I have done this, I've seen this. This should be the answer.
Mm.
Though they give the closest option, but like, no, you won't go for this. Like,
Mm.
in closing they give you options like, I mean, you have to close the project. What will you do first? So when you know what is to be done first, oh, you get it. Okay, you will first do this, you will hand over, you will get the sign off, you will do this. So it like, when you realize the question, the content, you should, I mean, it immediately clicks you, like, okay, he's asking what you will do first.
Got you.
So that was the thing, like, when you note these things, it
Mhm.
becomes very easier for you.
Hmm. Impressive.
And apart
Mm.
and apart from that, I focus more on initiating, closing, and execution, because these three um, areas, they make around 51%.
Mhm.
Initiating is 13%, closing 7, and execution is 31. So if you see totally, they make around 13 process out of these, and then uh, um, I felt like, initiating, I did very good based on this, then closing, and then I went for execution all this, and I also marked it on on my wall. I have made a print.
Mm.
Um, Let me show you. If you see my
Yeah.
background,
Oh yeah.
you see my
Yeah.
cover,
Yeah, man.
like,
Content there.
the or yeah, the orange thing that I have marked, it's all those process from initiating, closing, and execution.
God, man.
Yeah. So and this helped me. Like, every time when I'm not in a mood, I just go around and I just have a look, and you just keep looking at it, like, okay, you get the feel of it. Oh, okay, this is this, this is this. It's like a daily thing. Like, and one more thing I would say is, like, the writing habit that you recommended. Like writing the 49 processes every day. I mean, I was doing that, uh, and I did it almost for a month, till we had our sessions, and from then I started, doing in 2 days, 3 days. But that really helped me. I mean, like, the 49 process is like, it's feeded in your memory. You don't have to, I mean, now I know, like, how it flows. So even if you ask me now, I can see you, like, okay, this process will have this, and then you understand the flow. When you're answering the questions, I found that, during the mock also and during exam,
Uh-huh.
like, when you're attempting a question,
Mhm.
for example, if they ask you, like, you are doing this thing. I mean, for example, you are into planning stage, in risk. So for example, you are in risk, and they ask you, like, how are you going to um, how are you going to execute it, like, you have to follow that. You are in planning currently, and they are asking you to execute it. So, like, okay, this will go into implementation. So here, implement risk response will come. So the option will be closer one, the one which you have, the input outputs. It will be from that particular uh, process. So that thing, it helps to understand, like, where are you currently, what process are you following, and where you have to move next. So
R-
that also helped me a lot.
Right, right, right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Really great. Super, Pradeep. A lot of inputs from you. We can see
Thank you.
passion towards the preparation, and also hear about the Caribbean island has a good center to write exam. Very peaceful
Oh,
for.
yeah. Oh yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it is motivating me now, to study for more exams like this type. I'm really thankful, like, because of this, because of your style of approaching, how I mean, the way we have group discussion on WhatsApp and all. I mean, these people, I mean, when you are into a group, it motivates you, like, okay, man, people are really working hard. And from that group, I realized, okay, I should start making notes, because I was very lazy on writing things.
That's
Still, I
good.
don't write,
Yeah.
but I realized the importance of making notes. And especially there are a few people in our group who make very good notes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good.
they do the writing stuff really great. And
Good
then I was
authors
like,
are there.
okay,
Good authors are there.
sorry. Oh yes, indeed. So, like, this is what I realized. You should be also. I mean, I should write. So now I'm writing, I'm reading, and now I'm actually into the learning mode.
Very
Now,
good.
if I read something, I can absorb and I can learn. So
Yep.
now I
Yep.
don't want to keep it, just end it with the PMP. So now I'm like,
No,
okay,
no,
I
we
should
see
go
you in
for
agile
further
classes
study.
now. We see you in agile
Oh
classes.
yeah,
Thanks for joining
oh
there.
yes. I joined it. I was supposed to join it long back, during November, because, as I said, like, my baseline was October for PMP. So I
Hmm.
thought, like, okay, I will finish and I will jump into Agile. But then I
Yeah.
just attended one session initially, to get the feel. But then I realized, no, if I give 4 hours here, I can give the mock test during this time. So I
Yeah.
was using that time to give my mock test 4 hours and do the reviews. And
Good.
so- and
Fantastic. Great. Super, Navid. Thanks a lot. I know it's a post lunch time for you. In India, it's 11. So it was so nice
no problem.
to you on a Sunday.
Always welcome.
Right. Is it Saturday, Sunday holiday there? That's how the culture.
Yes, Saturday, Sunday is a compulsive holiday. Like, no
Mhm.
one wants to work here Saturday. You cannot force people. I mean, they will fight with you if you ask them to work on Saturday, Sunday.
So what kind of sports they play there?
Sports, they play mostly outdoor footballs. They love
Football.
football here.
Uh,
Yes, football, and then they have this swimming thing.
ah,
They
ah.
love swimming,
Of course, Caribbean,
swimming, foot.
and you should swim.
Yeah, and then volleyball. This is
Ah,
also very famous here.
ah,
Yeah.
ah. I think all are healthy games there. Very good. Super.
Oh yes, people are very health conscious here. I mean,
Mm,
everyone, you will find the gyms full, the sports complex full.
mm. Nice, nice. So keep rocking, keep winning more, and we will soon see you with
Thank you.
ACP certification.
Oh sure.
Right.
Hopefully, sure.
All
So
the best. Thanks a lot for being here, and good wishes for.
thank you, Sherry. Thanks a lot. Thanks to you and Rahul and all our team group members. I would
Mhm.
I would especially thank them. I mean, they
Motivating.
helped a lot in motivating. It was a good motivation.
Great,
Thank
great.
you, Sherry.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.